Hello, my name is Bunny Fur. I'm doing this PowerPoint presentation on safety from trip hazards here at Hackney Laddish. Today is November 15th, 2018. I would like to introduce Marion Parks. She is my stakeholder and she is the inside sales coordinator. First, I will start off with the project background. Hackney Laddish has been here since 1975. We are sitting on 67 acres, which is a lot. I did not realize that. Did you?
I knew it was large. I did not know it was that large.
It's pretty big.
We could expand.
We could and we should, and we need to. We have around 120 machines on the shop floor. That is combined from different plants that we've had that have closed down, and we have gotten those machines from the previous locations. What we do is we produce fittings for the gas and oil industry from 1 inch up to 48 inches. And we as well have another facility in Enid, Oklahoma. Do you have any questions yet?
No, I'm good.
Okay. The purpose of this project is to identify why we keep having so many trip hazards, and to come up with solutions to eliminate and minimize the trip hazards, and to utilize those ideas to have a safer environment for everyone in the company, all the employees. Problem identified. Probably should be problems identified. We have trip hazards that are causing us to lose money. We lose money because when someone trips, then they most likely have to go to the doctor. That costs money. And then they have to be off work. That costs money. We have to hire someone to replace them. That costs more money. Sometimes that can just double in expenses as well on everything. We have poor lighting in the shop. That's getting worked on slowly but surely. We have congested spaces from the downsizing and the elimination of some of our plants combining into one. And we have a lot of hoses and cords all over the floor.
So do you feel like the trip hazards are due to the employee not paying attention, or is it a company issue?
From being in part of the process hazard assessments, I believe it's kind of both. I believe that we can do better by making things more clear in the pathways, better lighting, and ensuring that the employees are aware of what causes these hazards.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, we have employees that don't pay attention, that are sleepy, lazy, lacking in other areas. But the better lighting, it makes our employees have a better attitude at work, as in their morale. So I think brighter and better lighting is going to help. The research method that I used was some face-to-face, but more of a questionnaire type. And I chose the questionnaire type because I feel like if you have just yes and no questions, you're not getting the full aspect and the full response that you could get, whereas they're allowed to answer more in detail. So,
Were your questionnaires to varying people in different positions, or just shop floor employees?
I chose a variance of people, some within the office, in the maintenance area, shop floor, and just, kind of a variety of people. That way we could have a different view on every aspect of it.
Good.
The employee questionnaire had a total of 5 questions. This one was, do you think it's the fault of the employee that they have the trip hazards? You mentioned on that just a second ago. A lot of them responded kind of both ways. They feel like that, we as the company should make it better for them so that they can see better. We have to do our part and supply them with the things that they need in order to see better. As I stated, some are just not paying attention. They're getting sloppy with their work and just used to the normal thing. Getting used to everything. Change is hard for a lot of people. A big part of what we have is we have bad flooring. So if we have better lighting, then they'll be able to see the bad flooring so that it's not as big of an issue as it could be when you have bad lighting. Another question, is the lighting good enough in the plant? Most said no. The plant has a lot of lighting. 30% needs an improvement. Some thinks that it's hard to get good lighting with the overhead cranes without those being used. When it comes to the lighting, pretty much the majority of everyone said that no, we do not have good lighting. And that is obvious because you can just look out the door by the break room and see how dark it is in there. It kind of looks spooky because it's so dark. Are there too many cords and hoses laying around? This is a definite yes. We are working on making that issue less of an issue. We've bought hoses to put the hose reels to put the hoses on, cord covers to gather all the cords up so that they can be covered and not spread out everywhere. There are 5S machines, or 5S shelving that is being installed so that they have a place to hang up their brooms and their shovels and their any kind of tool that they need. It should be in one central location. So that's getting handled and doing much better. Do you have any questions or comments?
I'm good.
Okay. Is the floor even with no holes or cracks? This is kind of restated, but it's obvious. It's a very, very old company, very old floor. We have lots of holes and cracks and uneven surfaces. They are, however, going through different locations. Maintenance will shut down an area and redo that flooring when they have the chance to. That way that they don't shut the whole place down and mess up the workflow. So it's getting worked slowly but surely. How do you think we can better correct the issue with trip hazards? I remember one saying that we pretty much just educate the employees on the risk, which is the last one. I think that's a really big one because if we don't keep them aware of what can cause a trip hazard, they're not going to be as prone to look out for those things. Of course, we need to repair the concrete because that's a huge issue, not only with walking, but as well with the fork trucks. Employee training, there's several projects that we can do. Someone mentioned that we could have a different supervisor and a different employee from another location in the plant to go to a different location because they might see things that that person that's always there doesn't see. And just having a fresh set of eyes on it will make things a lot better and see things that you don't usually see. So this is the survey report of it. Who is at fault? Of course, the dark blue, it shows 67% of both is at fault. That seems accurate, because we both have to do our part in it. So just making everyone aware and everyone doing their part, that will help that for sure. Is the lighting good enough? That is it's half, it's more no, but if you look at yes and no, then it's 33% because that's pretty much the same thing as it's good in the areas where it's closer to the edge of the building to where you have the natural lighting, but then in the central part of the shop, then it's hard to see as easily. Are there too many hoses and cords? Yes, that's a no-brainer, so that's obvious on that one. Is the floor free of holes and cracks? No, all the way around. If you have to walk out there a lot, like during the process hazard assessments, I can't look at where I'm going. I have to look down and at where I'm going because if I don't, then I will trip. So that definitely will need to be something that we make sure gets fixed. The proposed solution was updated lighting. By having the updated lighting, all of the issues previously noted will be better to spot, they'll be able to see the hoses and the cords so they don't trip. They'll be able to see the cracks in the concrete so they don't trip. And then it just, a better morale, employee morale. So, updated lighting is the solution that we chose. The feasibility of it, we pretty much already have the equipment in order to install the new lights, so that would not be something that we'd have to incur in cost. We've made a layout to where it shows the sections that need it and how many sections. A plan has been put into place and what areas will be worked on which days in order to ensure a plan to be made for the day. That way it doesn't, I guess, disrupt the workflow that we're doing so that we don't lose money on production from having to do these things. The cost, very big. We will be updating 22 areas. Each area consists of 9 total big units. 22 areas times 9 big units will total 198 smaller units within each bigger unit. Gets a little confusing. The units range from 5,800 to 237,000 each. Obviously that is in reference to the size of the unit in order to make one big total unit. Then you have to add the cost of labor. I came up with $115,000. That would be 3 maintenance people working at $40 an hour for 6 months at 8 hours a day. The ending total cost would be $13,547,828. A lot of money. Man, that's a lot of money. And the overall goal is not to trip, to see everything that you can see around you and just be aware. Thank you for viewing. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you. That was very good.
Thank you very much.